Hello students, welcome to video classes. So in the last class we are discussing about the expansion of the liquids. In the expansion of the liquids we have discussed what are the different types of the expansions in the liquids, what are the relations between them and what are the definitions. Okay, we have discussed, and also we have discussed what is the effect of temperature on the density of the liquids. Okay, all these formulas we have discussed. Okay, so briefly we are going to revise them. In the case of liquids, there are the two types of coefficient of expansions are there. Two types of volume coefficients. The liquids does not have the linear and the areal expansion. The reason is the liquids does not have particular shape. Next, the liquids we have the volume coefficient of expansion, and that is divided into two parts. Why the volume coefficient of liquids is divided into two parts? The reason is the liquids will not be heated directly. Okay, we are in need of a container. Okay, we are going to take the liquids in the container and a vessel, and we are going to heat the vessel. So then what happened? The expansion of the vessel is also takes place. So by taking the consideration of the expansion of the vessel, the volume expansion of the liquids is classified into two types. One is called the coefficient of apparent expansion. It can be represented by gamma A, and the other one is the coefficient of real expansion, gamma R. Okay, coefficient of apparent expansion and the coefficient of real expansion. And the coefficient of apparent expansion will depend on the expansion of the container. But the real expansion does not depend on the expansion of the container. And also we have discussed about the relations between them. What the relation is, gamma R is equals to gamma A plus gamma G. This relation will clearly explain that always the coefficient of real expansion, okay, the coefficient of real volume expansion of the liquid is greater than the coefficient of apparent expansion. And here gamma G represents the volume expansion or the volume coefficient of the glass. Okay. So in the case of gamma G, you have to write down in the terms of linear expansion also. In the place of gamma G, what you can write? 3 alpha G you can write. Because the volume coefficient of gamma is equals to 3 into alpha. Okay. So these are the concepts we have discussed in the last class. And also we have discussed about the few conditions which are very important for competitive. I already told you. Okay, if gamma R is greater than gamma G, if gamma R is less than gamma G, if gamma R is equals to gamma G, what happened to the liquid level in the vessel? Those conditions are very important. Okay. After that, we have discussed about the formulas also. Okay, the coefficient of apparent expansion and the real expansion. The formulas are same. Okay, both are going to represent the values only. Only what is the change? The change will be there only in the definition. Okay, small change in the definition. What's the formula I derived? Gamma A is equals to gamma R is equals to. Both are going to have the same formula, that is V2 minus V1 by V1 into delta T. And what are the units we have derived? The units are per degree Celsius. Okay, the units are per degree Celsius. Okay, so if you want to define the apparent expansion, how can you define it? The ratio of the change in apparent volume of the liquid to the initial volume for 1 degree centigrade rise of temperature is called the coefficient of apparent expansion. The coefficient of real expansion means the ratio of the change in real volume of the liquid to the initial volume for 1 degree centigrade rise of temperature is called the coefficient of real expansion of the liquid. And these are the formulas. By using that, you can write down the formula also, the volume formulas. Final volume formula. Final volume V2 is equals to, in the terms of, in the case of apparent expansion, what happened? V1 into 1 plus gamma A into delta T. In the terms of real expansion, V2 is equals to V1 into 1 plus gamma R into delta T. This is the final volume formulas. You need to remember directly while you are going to solve the problems. These are more helpful. After that, the densities. And we already know that when you are going to increase the temperature of liquid, the volume increases, density decreases, and the mass will be remains same. So if I write down the final density, always remember whenever you are going to calculate the density, you should not take the apparent expansion. You have to take the real expansion only. You must remember this point is. Okay. Whenever you are going to dealing with the density with temperature, you should not take the apparent expansion. You should take the real expansion only. So that's why the final density, or you can write down gamma R is equals to the coefficient of real expansion gamma R in the terms of densities. What you can write? D1 minus D2 by D2 into delta T. Gamma R is equals to D1 minus D2 by D2 into delta T. This is the coefficient of real expansion, and the units will be per degree Celsius. It is same. Now, if I write down the final density formula, final density formula D2 is equals to D1 into 1 minus, because the final density is decreases, that's why you are taking minus. And which one you have to use? You have to use the real expansion. So gamma r into delta T. This is the formula to find out the final density. Okay. So these are the concepts we have discussed in the last class, which the formulas are very important to solve the problems. So now we are going to discuss one very important concept, especially for competitive part. Okay, this is not for the PU part, it is only for the competitive part. That is the determination of the coefficient of operant expansion. So there is an experiment is there which is called the specific gravity bottle method. Okay, the specific gravity bottle method to find out the coefficient of operant expansion. So all of you must concentrate on the experiment. Okay, there are the different stages are there and the different steps are there. Okay, there will be little bit confusion is there between the weights what we are going to be taking. So that's why while I am explaining, just concentrate step by step what we are going to be taking and what formulas are going to be taking. Okay. So what is this experiment is called? Specific gravity bottle method. Okay. The specific gravity bottle method to find out the coefficient of operant expansion of the liquid. Operant expansion is what you have to find out? You are going to find out gamma A value. What you have to find out? Gamma A value. Okay. Let us start the experiment. So in this one we are going to use a specific gravity bottle. The specific gravity bottle means the size will be this much. Okay, this much, and the width will be this much will be there. Okay, that much size of the glass bottle will be there. Specific gravity bottle. Almost the shape will be like this. Okay, the shape will be like this. This is called the specific gravity bottle. The size will be approximately this much and the width will be this much width will be takes place. Okay, this is called a specific gravity bottle. Okay, so concentrate step by step what we are doing here. So first what happens, you are going to take a clean empty specific gravity bottle you have to take. Okay, a clean empty specific gravity bottle you are taking and you are just going to measure the weight of this specific gravity bottle. Empty bottle weight you are measuring and that weight you are going to consider as W1. So in this formula, either you can use W1 or you can use the mass, because W1 is equals to weight and mass M1 is equals to mass. W1 is equals to what you can write M1G, because in the final formula what happens, the G will be taken as common, it will be cancelled. So that's why either you can use the W1 or you can use the M1. Okay, don't be confused between the terms here. Okay, so the weight of the bottle, specific gravity bottle W1. First you are going to measure W1. Okay, and what is this? This represents the bottle weight. Okay, it will represents the bottle weight. Okay, what is the step 1? You are going to take an empty, clean, specific gravity bottle and you are going to measure the weight W1. W1 contains only bottle weight. Okay, right. In the second stage, what are you going to do? You are going to fill this specific gravity bottle with a liquid. Which one you want to find out the coefficient of operant expansion? Okay, for which liquid coefficient of operant expansion you have to measure, that liquid is filled inside the specific gravity bottle. For example, if you want to find out the operant expansion of the oil, so whatever the oil operant expansion you have to measure, that liquid, that oil will be filled in this specific gravity bottle and we are just going to fill it completely with the oil, with the liquid which you want to find out the specific gravity bottle, coefficient of operant expansion, and it is completely filled in and we are just going to arrange a rubber cork. Okay, I am just going to arrange a rubber cork which contains a small narrow hole at the center. Okay, which will contains a narrow small hole at the center. Like this. A narrow hole will be takes place for this rubber cork and we are going to fix it. Now what happens here? It is completely filled. There is no space is there for the extra oil to fill inside the specific gravity bottle. You are completely filling it and you are just going to press the rubber cork. That rubber cork will contain a small hole at the center. Now what you have to do? Again you have to measure the weight of the specific gravity bottle again. Okay, second time. How much weight you are doing? That weight will be W2. Okay, second time you are going to measure the weight. And where you are measuring the weight? You are going to measure the weight at the temperature of room temperature or at the temperature of T1 degree Celsius. So this weight will be, and W2 will contain, what is W2 will contain? W2 will contains the bottle weight plus liquid weight. Okay, bottle weight plus liquid weight. Okay, don't be confused here. W1 contains empty specific gravity bottle weight. That means W1 contains only bottle weight. W2 will contains bottle plus liquid weight, and it is at the temperature of T1 degree Celsius, that is the room temperature. Okay, T1 degree Celsius. Okay, so this is the second step we are completing. Next we are going for the third step. In the third step, what happens? You are just going to heat this specific gravity bottle in the water bath. That means you are going to increase the temperature. Because if you want to find out the coefficient of apparent expansion, what you have to do? We have to give the heat energy to that liquid. So to heat it, we are going to use the water bath, and the arrangement will be like this. So let us say that this is a bottle stand we are going to be taking here. Okay, this is a stand, and this stand okay, this is a stand I am going to taking, and in this stand I am going to take a water bath here. Okay, this is a beaker. Okay, this is a beaker. Inside the beaker I am going to take the water up to here, and this specific gravity bottle I am going to be immersed inside the water in such a way that the bottle will be immersed in this one like this. This is a specific gravity bottle. And this is the rubber cork you are going to be having here. Okay, this specific gravity bottle is immersed inside the water. Okay, how we are going to be immersed? So that the neck should be outside the water level. Okay, you have to suspend the specific gravity bottle in such a way that the neck should be outside the water bottle. And this is a return stand I am going to be using here. This is a return stand, and from this return stand I am going to be suspend the thread like this. So this specific gravity bottle is suspended by using a thread with this return stand in such a way that the neck should be outside the water bath, which is very important point. Okay, so this type of arrangement we are doing. After that I am going to take a stove I am going to be taking here, and we have started heating it. Okay, I have started heating it. When you are going to start heating it, then what happens? First the water will take the temperature, and the heat energy will be given to the specific gravity bottle. So here you are going to get a doubt. Okay, what is the doubt will be? Why we are going to use this water bath instead of directly heating this specific gravity bottle? So the reason is that whenever you are going to use this specific gravity bottle and you are directly heating it, then what happens? The fire will be given at the bottom. Then what happens? The bottom part of the liquid is going to be get more temperature, and the upper part of the liquid will get less temperature. So there is a temperature variation will be there. So due to that reason, what happened? Whatever the readings we are going to take in, we are going to get the wrong readings. So that's why what we have to do, we have to evenly heat the liquid. Okay, we have to heat the liquid evenly. So when you are going to get the even liquid will be when the water bath will be there. Because when you are going to heat this water, the water will contain the same temperature at all places. That means how much temperature is there at the bottom, the same temperature will be there at the top also. So that's why what happens, we are going to use the water bath to heat the liquid inside the specific gravity bottle. So due to that reason, what happened? How much temperature is there at here? The same temperature will be there at here. Due to that reason, what happened? Whatever the liquid we are taking inside the specific gravity bottle will evenly heat energy will be takes place, and evenly it is going to be expands itself. That is the reason why we are going to use the water bath. Okay, if I are going to heat directly, what happened? The bottom side more temperature will be there, or top side less temperature will be there. To overcome this problem, we are going to use this water bath. Now, listen very carefully. Now, what is going to be happens here? Whatever the liquid is there inside the specific gravity bottle will take the heat energy, and what happens? Starts expanding. Okay, the liquid inside the specific gravity bottle will start expanding. But is there any space inside the specific gravity bottle to expand? No. So that's why what happened? Whatever the hole, a small hole we are going to be provided for the specific gravity bottle or the rubber cork. From that small hole, what happened? Whatever the liquid is expanded, that expanded liquid will be overflows. That means the sum of the liquid is going to be overflow. So whatever the liquid is overflowing here, that liquid is always, you have to keep it clean by using a blotting paper. Blotting paper means you are going to use the tissue paper, or you are going to use the paper napkin. by using the paper napkin, what happens, whatever the liquid is coming out, you should be going to clean it always. And you should take care that whatever the liquid inside the specific gravity bottle should not mix with this water. Okay, what happens if this liquid is going to be mixed with water? If the liquid inside the specific gravity bottle is going to be mixed with water, then what happens? Immediately the temperature of the liquid or the water is going to be changes. Whenever the temperature of the water will be changes, again what happens? Uneven temperature will be takes place. Due to that reason, whatever the liquid is overflowing, that liquid is always going to be cleaned by using the blotting paper or using the paper napkin. Okay, you are just going to clean up. Like that, what happens? You are going to increase the temperature up to T2 degrees Celsius. How much temperature is increasing? T2 degrees Celsius you are increasing. When you are going to increase the temperature, what is happening here? Some of the liquid inside the specific gravity bottle will be expanded and it is overflowing. Okay, overflowing out of the specific gravity bottle. After increasing up to the temperature of T2 degrees Celsius, you can remove the specific gravity bottle out of the water bath and keep aside and allow it to cool to the room temperature. Again, what happens? You are going to allow it to cool to the room temperature. Whenever it is going to cool to the room temperature, again what happens? Whatever the liquid is expanded, again what happens? It will be contracts. Whenever it is going to be contracts, then the liquid inside the specific gravity bottle is completely filled? No, because some of the liquid is overflow. That's why there will be some empty will be takes place. After heating up to T2 degrees Celsius, when you are going to remove outside and you are going to allow to cool to the room temperature, again the liquid will contracts. Then what happens? Some of the liquid is already overflowed. That's why what happens? You are going to get some empty space in the specific gravity bottle and you are allowed to cool to room temperature. Up to what temperature we are heated? T2 degrees Celsius. At this condition, again you have to measure the weight. How many times you are measuring the weight? 3 times. Okay, don't be confused. First you are measuring empty bottle weight. Second time you are measuring after filling with the liquid before heating, that is W2. What is W2 will contains? Bottle weight plus liquid weight. At what temperature? T1 degrees Celsius, room temperature. Third time what you are doing after heating up to T2 degrees Celsius and you are measuring the weight, and that weight can be represented by W3. That weight can be represented by W3. W3 will contains bottle weight plus liquid weight. Okay, bottle weight plus liquid weight. At what temperature you are going to get? T2 degrees Celsius. Okay, this is the experimental procedure you need to remember. Because if you want to solve the problem, you need to know the complete process. If you know this complete process, then it will become very easy to solve the problem itself. Okay, these are the steps we are going to be having here in this process. Okay, 3 times you are going to measure the weight. W1 only bottle weight, W2 bottle weight plus liquid weight at what temperature? T1 before heating, W3 after heating, bottle weight plus liquid weight, T2 degrees Celsius will be takes place. Okay, this is the experiment. And now we are going to write down the formula. We are going to write down the formula, the coefficient of apparent expansion. The coefficient of apparent expansion gamma A is equals to. Okay, I am writing down in the words, you must remember the condition. Okay, the coefficient of apparent expansion gamma A is equals to, the formula is mass of the liquid remain, mass of the liquid expand by mass of the remaining liquid into temperature difference. That is the formula. So, mass of the liquid expand by mass of the remaining liquid into temperature difference. This is the formula you need to remember. Okay, don't write in the short form. You can write down in complete words. I am writing here in the short form, but you don't write in the short form. Okay, listen very carefully. What is this represents? Mass of the liquid expelled. Expelled means the liquid which is overflowed. The liquid which is overflowed by mass of the remaining liquid into temperature difference. This will gives you the coefficient of apparent expansion. Now our task is to find out what is the mass of the liquid expelled and what is the mass of the remaining liquid. Mass of the remaining liquid means after heating some of the liquid is overflowed. Whatever the remaining liquid is there, that mass we are going to be finding itself. Okay. So I already told you that at the place of mass you can use W1 or you can use the masses also. No problem. Okay. Now first refer to this one. Mass of the liquid expelled. How can you find out the mass of the liquid expelled? Only liquid we have to find out. Mass of the liquid expelled. Okay. So we refer to here W2 bottle plus liquid weight. Okay. Before that, let us refer to this all these weights. W1, W2, W3. How many weights are there? 3 weights are there. W1, W2, W3. Can you tell me which one is more weight? Obviously, W2 is more weight because at the W2 at that time you didn't heat the specific gravity bottle. You didn't heat the specific gravity bottle. So that's why what happened? Complete liquid is there inside the bottle. So that's why W2 will be maximum. Next, W3 will be minimum. Why W3 is minimum? Because after heating it, some of the liquid is overflowed. When some of the liquid is overflowed, then what happens? Mass of the liquid will be decreases. So that's why W3 is less. And at last, W1, it does not contain any liquid itself. So, based on W1, W2, W3. Now, how can you find out the mass of the liquid expelled? Mass of the liquid expelled means what I have to do? W2 minus W3 how to do. When I go to do W2 minus W3, W2 before exploding, okay, before expelling, and W3 after expelling. If you are going to subtract them, what you are going to get? You are going to get the mass of the liquid expelled. That means the mass of the liquid expelled means what you can write? W2 minus W3. Next, in the denominator, what is that? Mass of the remaining liquid. Okay, mass of the remaining liquid. What is the mass of the remaining liquid means? After heating up to T2 degrees Celsius, how much it is remained? That means W3. Okay, you should not take directly W3. Why should not take directly W3? Because W3 will contain the bottle weight plus liquid weight. But what we are required only liquid weight. We didn't require bottle weight. Then how can you find out the liquid weight only? W3 minus W1. If you are going to do W3 minus W1, bottle weight will be cancels. Only what you are going to get? You are going to get only liquid weight. So in this way you are going to get the mass of the remaining liquid. And the temperature difference you know. What is the initial temperature is T1. Up to what temperature we are heated? T2 degrees Celsius. So the temperature difference is T2 minus T1. This part is very important in this derivation or in this formula itself. How we are going to write down the mass of the liquid expelled and the mass of the liquid remained. Okay. Mass of the liquid expelled means W2 minus W3. Mass of the remaining liquid means W3 minus W1. Why are subtracting W1? So that we can cancel the bottle weight. That we can get only the liquid weight itself. Then write down the formula. What is the formula here? Gamma A is equals to, okay, coefficient of operant expansion. Gamma A is equals to mass of the liquid expelled means what you can write? W2 minus W3 by mass of the remaining liquid means what you can write? W3 minus W1 into temperature difference means T2 minus T1. This is the formula to find out the coefficient of apparent expansion of the any type of the liquid itself. Okay, so this is the process you have to follow. For example, if you want to find out the coefficient of apparent expansion of the kerosene, then this specific gravity bottle is filled with the kerosene, and you have to do all the experiment and find out the 3 times weight and substitute in this formula. You are going to get the answer. Okay, how could you write down in the terms of masses? Gamma A is equals to M2 minus M3 by M3 minus M1 into T2 minus T1. Either you can use the masses or you can use the weights itself. So this is called the specific gravity bottle method to determine the coefficient of apparent expansion. And this is only for competitive part, it is not for PE. Okay, try to remember this formula. Based on this one, we are going to solve the problems. While they are giving the problems, read the problem very carefully so that before heating how much mass is given, after heating how much mass is given, is the bottle weight is also included or not, that one you have to consider. Based on that you need to find out this formula section. Okay, so that's all for today. See you in the next class. Thank you.